What is good? JTrav here, hope everybody's doing good. Today I'm gonna do a quick Pro Tools video. Well, I don't know how quick it'll be. I'm gonna do a Pro Tools video on how to initially set up Pro Tools, finding a recording interface, and just setting up a session. Let's check it out. Alright, so we got Pro Tools open right here. This is what it's gonna look like if you create just a new session. So first thing I actually like to do is I come up here to setup and playback engine because I want to make sure that Pro Tools sees my audio card, which is my mixer right now. So right now it's set to built-in output, so I'm gonna go ahead and go down here to Personas. It's gonna say it needs to restart, that's gonna close Pro Tools. I'm gonna say yes. I'm also gonna hit OK. And give it a minute or so and it'll open back up. Now we are ready to set up our session. So now we're gonna add some tracks. Come up here, track, go to new. First, I'm actually gonna add a master track, and this needs to be a stereo track. This is gonna keep all your levels in perspective, so we definitely need that. I'm also gonna add, we'll just do 10 mono tracks, so we're setting up to record. All right. Alright, so this is pretty much how Pro Tools will open. One thing I do like to do is I like to get more inserts and expand the send. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here to this little window, this little drop down menu. I'm going to click Inserts F through J. Also, I like to just have the instrument show. So if you have an instrument track that you need to throw in here, you're able to adjust it through right here. You could adjust the sound or the route. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to set up the mic. We need to find which mic input we have. So on my mixer I have 16 channels that I can actually select, but your interface is going to be a little different. You might have 2, you might have 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to channel 7. So that's how we find our mic input. The top is input, this bottom one is the output, and so you're gonna need to find your output. Usually it sets it up pretty much on its own when you have your interface set up and connected. So right now what we can do is we can actually start adding effects. So if I arm this track, you can see the signal coming through a little bit, and I could come in here and do EQs. Again, I have a lot of extra plugins. Pro Tools does come stock with some really good plugins. So if you're using those, we can open those. It actually opened on my other screen. So now that opened up here. And this has some really cool, it comes with a lot of presets. So I would really look into these different drums, hi-hats, all this stuff. It's pretty wicked. Check it out. You could also, this is where you add, compressors, delays. You can do that. There's a million ways to add delays and reverb, so it's not on the actual track right here. Okay, cool. So right now we're pretty much at the point where we would pull in the instrumental or whatever audio track you're trying to add to. So I'm gonna drag it over here. I'm just gonna drag this beat, and I'm actually gonna drop it down here on the gray, and it's gonna put it on a stereo track. And this instrumental actually is not mastered at the moment, which is perfect because I want to show you where I actually like my levels to sit. So this is the other window I like to look at. This is the mixer window. I had this on my other screen. Right here, -6, you really don't want your finished recording to be louder than that. When you send it off to mastering, it needs a good amount of headroom to get you that volume so it's ready for the radio. So again, right here at the 6. So I actually do have some templates saved on my website, JTravMusic.com. If you go into the audio knowledge tab and go to the bottom of the page, you'll see a couple folders. One of them will be a recording template, so you could just plug that right in. You'll pretty much have this set up with some effects, and you'll be ready to go. Just drag your instrumental in.